give me that wildfire.
Hey YouTube, we're out on a little domestic task mission. So it's actually starting to cool off here a little bit in Arizona. And it's only going to be about 100 today, so that's good news. Good news. Upper 90s are awesome weather. So we're heading for that real quick. Topic, and it's a quiz. Does anybody read motorcycle magazines anymore? I was curious. When I was a knee-high to a grasshopper, 10 years old, I subscribed to my first motorcycle magazine. Cycle no longer exists, but I thought that was a good magazine. Of course, way back in the olden days, they didn't have internet, stuff like that, smartphones, and it was really the only way you could get information on motorcycles, and it seemed to be pretty well written, and I used to geek out on it. I could tell you everything from horsepower to gear ratios on every motorcycle that was made from 1976 on. And through the years, I've had different subscriptions and stuff like that. I used to enjoy Cycle Magazine in particular for a columnist named Ed Hertfelder. He was a enduro rider that wrote some cleverly pithy, humorous columns called the Duct Tapes. There's not too much out on there on him anymore. I've done some internet searches. There's little dribs and drabs here and quotes that are kind of humorous. But my question is, does anybody still read motorcycle magazines? I've put away most of the publications because they are redundant, repetitive, and I don't care for it's not very good anymore, I don't think. Basically, it's the same things. There's not enough wind protection. The bike is buzzy at a certain level. It's the greatest thing ever. The bike that we told you was the greatest last year is a piece of crap this year, and you need this bike. If you don't own this bike, then you don't have a motorcycle. You know, just it doesn't do too much for me. I'm down to 2 publications. I subscribe to Rider Magazine. The columnists in there don't do a whole lot for me. The guy with the beret is pompous, and I don't care for his commentary too much, but I do like their bike reviews. They seem to be at least minimally honest, and I read it mostly for the ride reports. They have some really good, well-written ride reports, and it's a diversity of motorcycles. So I like to read that, and then I like to read Classic Motorcycle, which is, I really think I enjoy it. It comes out every other month. It's expensive, but good photography on old motorcycles, good stories on you know, restorations, things like that. They have good tech tips. So those are what I'm really down to now. The other publications, which I don't even want to mention, don't do a whole lot for me. They're repetitive, like I said. So what's up with you guys? Do you guys still read magazines? I get most of my info, probably like you, right off the internet. Folks like you and I doing reviews. I especially like long-term reviews. Sometimes your initial feelings and introspective on gear or motorcycles isn't truly what you find after a season of riding. And I find people to be a little bit more honest. Some folks, you know, you got to take stuff with a grain of salt sometimes, but you know, I find that regular people's opinion are better than any motorcycle magazine. So throw it in the comments. Let me know. Let me know what you think of motorcycle magazines, or even if they're even being read anymore. Appreciate you watching. Like, share, subscribe, and adios.